That's all that wonderful carbonation already happening in the first ferment. Now we're going to get the second ferment, and that's where you get your natural pop. Who wants to make kombucha? You scared? I know I was. So somebody posted on my Instagram, please do a video on kombucha. Well, I'm a brand new beginner, and I'll tell you this, my SCOBY sat in a bag for 6 months because I was scared to make it too. So I went ahead and did it, and I thought I would take you guys along and show you a beginner's process, a non-scary way to make kombucha. I have two going right now, a green tea and a black tea, and I'm going to go ahead and pour those off and make my second batch. Those have been sitting there for 5 days. And you don't have to buy all those fancy jars and stuff. Go to your secondhand shops, Goodwill, Salvation Army. I found this old wine bottle. I use my leftover milk jugs. The things my juice comes in, all make fine and dandy kombucha bottles for your second ferment. So that's what I'm going to do. And basically what you want to do is, I'm sorry, I have to work over the sink. What you want to do is pour, you want to see that? Look at that pretty SCOBY. You want to have 1/5 room for your juice or your fruit, whatever you're going to pour in there. So I'm going to fill this up. I just eyeball it. I'm not specific about it. But you do want to leave about a 1/2 cup to a cup. Look at all those bubbles. That's when you know it's good. A 1/2 cup to a cup of your original starter in your jar so that you can keep it going. Okay, that's probably a little bit too much. Hold on just a second. Just so I have room for my fruit juice. And now I buy just organic straight juices. They say the best is to go with non-pasteurized, but I can't find that. So I buy this brand, this R.W. Knudsen, or however you say that. And that I really like the pear and pomegranate is what I've made so far, and I'm going to try a beet one today. Oh, I wanted to try a different. I wanted to try pomegranate with green tea. So then you just add your pomegranate juice. And then you put your lid on. And you stick this away for 2.5, 3 days. And then it will be nice and ready. And can you see those bubbles in there? Let me put it over here so you can see it in the light. That's all that wonderful carbonation already happening in the first ferment. Now we're going to get the second ferment, and that's where you get your natural pop. What you're going to want to do is, probably on day 2 of this round, just go in and you're going to lightly lift the lid. Don't open it all the way. You're going to let too much out. Just crack it enough to let some of that gas out. So I'm going to set this aside for now, and we're going to do another batch of our second ferment. This is going to be a little bit more tricky. Hold on just a second, I gotta get a funnel. Okay. So again, you can see the SCOBY sitting there. Nice, pretty. And what I, just so you guys know, when you get a SCOBY, the way I got this, it was way too big. It had been made in, I think, like a gallon-sized jar. So I just bit the bullet, not knowing what to do, and I tore it up into 3 different pieces so it would fit. And it's working great. So this is my 3rd round of making kombucha. So again, I'm going to leave just enough to keep it going, yet still have room. Okay. Now we'll try a beet. Think that'll be good. Never had beet juice before, but I suppose it's going to be healthy for me. Okay. And that is all I have left to do for my second ferments. And I'm gonna put these in a dark place. I usually set them on the counter right over here by the coffee pot, out of the light. And again, every day or 2 days. And the nice thing about these, especially this one, the lids that come on the juices, is you can pop that top. And when you can't push it down anymore, you know you need to give it a little gas release. So now we're gonna refill both of our original kombucha bottles with our tea. And this is basically what you're gonna always start your kombucha. I'm going a little bit backwards, but I'll catch you up. So you've already got kombucha going. I'm adding my green tea. I should rinse that. I'm adding my green tea back to my green tea kombucha starter. And oh, there's other, I've seen, guys, I'm telling you, because I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't know that you're supposed to be gentle with your SCOBY. And people are like, I'm so careful with my SCOBY not to disturb it. I didn't know, and it's completely working fine. That SCOBY likes to be poured on. And then you're just going to screw back on your coffee filter and your lid. And I just set these on top of my refrigerator where it's warm. Okay, and now to add my black tea. I'm losing half of it. Stop. Okay, and add my lid back. I wanted to just start there to show you the fun part of it so you could see the actual reaction and see the carbonation happening. Let's say that you're just starting and you had a really good friend, just gave you a SCOBY, you don't know what to do with it. So you're going to get yourself a large mason jar. And I went ahead and pre-washed this, but just in case, because I do have, I think, chlorine in my water, just give it a quick vinegar rinse. And that'll make sure that you kill any of those chemicals that might be residing in it. And it's just a good activator for your SCOBY. And they say you have to have about a half a cup to a cup of starter for your 6 cups of tea. So I don't know what I've got here, but oh, what I wanted to show you is this is my torn SCOBY. It's not pretty, it's like in 3 pieces, but it's going to grow back together and make one big happy SCOBY family. Let me grab my tea. And now I'm just going to add my just black tea that, oh, so you're going to make 6 cups of black tea with 6 tablespoons of sugar. Bring it to room temperature before you pour it in here, otherwise it could kill your SCOBY. And you don't ever want to use honey, because the goodness of the honey can kill the goodness of your SCOBY bacteria, supposedly. Okay. And then you put your lid on. And now for your second, or your very first time ever making your first ferment, you're probably going to want to let it go somewhere between 7 to 10 days. Start tasting it around 7 days and see if it's got the sweetness but the tang that you like. And when you feel like it's at the right level, it's going to start smelling, you're going to smell vinegar first, but it's still going to taste sweet. That's when you know it's good. But once you get like that continuous round going like I did the first time, you can just let it go like 5 days and it's good. So what else did I want to show you? Oh, the teas that I use, just in case you want to know. I use a green tea kombucha. It's just a green tea. They just call it kombucha, I think. And then I use just a generic organic English breakfast tea, which is a black tea. And that's it. You've got SCOBYs. So let me tell you what I'm going to do. In 2.5 days, my second ferment, the one that I made with the beet juice and the pomegranate juice, that's gonna be done. And all I'm gonna literally do is take those jugs and put them in the refrigerator. I know a lot of people take the effort to bottle them in individual little serving bottles. Number one, I don't wanna make that investment, and it's not worth my time because it doesn't last that long. So I'm gonna throw it in there, and usually I typically can get on the same cycle where I'm, so far from what I'm seeing, I'm running a new batch of kombucha every 5 days, somewhere in there. So hope you guys like that. Hopefully that was super easy and got all the scary out of making kombucha. So yay to the booch. How about them booches? Today we're gonna make kombucha.